I'm really happy to be into the next round, obviously ecstatic. Glad that I had a chance to be in a position similar to this earlier in the year. And so I feel kind of, prepared what's to come mentally and physically, being able to play on, a big stage at a Grand Slam against the exact same guy that I'm going to be playing next round. So feel fortunate that I got that experience. But, yeah, really happy to be moving on.
Great. Thank you. Questions? Andrew, go right ahead.
Thanks, Gary. Andrew Jones, ESPN Skate. Ben, not only with Ben the Blaster today with the serve, but also in doubles just now with Taylor and the celebration. Can you talk about that great rock celebration or what that was, and just the whole day to beat Aslan the way you did and how it typically is?
Yeah, it's just natural with Taylor. If I went out there and played doubles, I didn't want to be flat. I wanted to bring the energy, and we had a lot of fun together today, and got a big win. So I was pretty pumped about that. But yeah, the celebration's always natural for me. I don't really think about it before, but yeah, to have a day like this at the U.S. Open is pretty cool.
They couldn't get you off that court. I mean, he was getting selfie after selfie out there, and it just represented how you're back to not only best form, probably feel that you're even better player now than what you were at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, I feel confident, in the work that I put in. I think that things are, slowly coming together in my game. I think the Grand Slams give me a great chance to show how competitive I am and give me a chance to be tough mentally and physically. I think it's a completely different ball game than 2 out of 3 sets. And obviously being at home here on a hard court, I feel pretty comfortable.
Okay. Willie.
Willie Weinbaum from ESPN. When you think of your style of play and Tommy's, how would you describe that contrast and what you think the keys to the match are?
Yeah, I think that, he's a guy who has every shot in the book, a great athlete, great mover, amazing defensive skills, but can also play offense. I think that he's a really savvy tennis player. Uses his brain a lot on court to beat his opponent, and I think that I have some of the similar qualities. A little bit more of a bigger ball hitter or server. He places the serve, spins it more. Still has a great serve and hits a lot of aces. But I think that the way we go about things is a little bit different.
And then, how would you describe the grind, the physical and mental grind there is to advance in the majors and what you're experiencing as a result?
Yeah, I think that every time that you get a win at a major, it's like a big relief and a big moment always to get through a 3 out of 5 set match. So it takes a lot out of you emotionally and physically. The days here at the U.S. Open tend to be pretty long. When you're staying in the city, it's not close. And so being here, pretty much 9 to 5 or today 9 to 9, it definitely adds up. But I think that, you get a day off in between each singles match, and, I'm only 20 years old, so I don't think I can be complaining about the physical toll yet.
Chris.
Hi, Ben. Congrats on your win. Chris Otto with the
Thanks.
U.S. Open. I'm curious if you could look back to Australia and facing Tommy. What do you think it was that gave him the edge over you in that match?
Yeah, I think that was a match where, I was a little unsure of what to expect. I hadn't really been in that situation before, quarterfinals of a Grand Slam on Rod Laver, packed stadium. I think that I panicked a little bit, pressed, early in the match, and he kind of got on top of me and was the front runner from there. So I hope to do a little bit better job of that this time around.
Hi Ben, Tamani Kara from The Guardian. Just wondering how you talked about being a big hitter and having your weapons. Well, what have you found you have to do in order to hit through kind of the best defenses consistently, like a player like Tommy Paul?
Yeah, I think it's not about always, hitting through the guy that you're playing. I've kind of found that being out here on tour, everyone's really good at hitting the ball. If you hit it hard, you hit it the same speed, guys can play, and they can play really well. And so I think that, having some variety and mixing things up is something that's important for me in my game style.
Okay.
Hey, congratulations. Flash magazine. So last year at this point, you have never played tennis outside of US, and this year you have been different countries, different continents, and you just said that major other Grand Slams, a major tournament made you tough. So can you more specifically that what did you learn from playing in different countries, and how do you feel comfortable with playing in the US again?
Yeah, I think that I did a really good job this year of, playing as many tournaments as I could, going to as many places as I could, and now I kind of have a feel for, the places that I love, maybe the places I don't love to play so much, and what type of schedule, I want to put together in the future that suits me the best. So I think that, you don't want to play every single week or, take too long off. I'm someone who likes to be playing matches, but I also think that it's important that you have some time off to do, training blocks or just decompress at home. So I think that's the biggest thing for me. I've kind of figured out the things that I like and how to find that right balance.
Bill?
Congrats, well done. Bill Simons, Inside Tennis. Tennis is a game, a sport that teaches so many lessons, sort of gives you a lot of messages. From playing all the collegiate tennis and now early into your pro career, a tough question, but what do you think the sport has taught you the most as a young man? One or two lessons?
Deep question. I think that playing collegiate tennis and professional tennis now, there's big differences. I think that being able to be in college and play for something bigger than myself, be selfless, care about my teammates, know how to, lift up people around me and not everything be about myself. I think that's the biggest lesson that I learned. It's easy to be self-centered out here on this tour. Everything revolves around the players. You have a team around you, and it's easy to become self-centered, and I think that's something that's really important for me is to make sure that I'm still being a good person and saying thank you to the people who hold the door and the security guards who take us around the site, people who serve us the food here. So I think that college taught me a lot about being a better person and being good to the people around me, not just focusing on myself and my own success or personal gain.
Okay, two more. Chris, Andrew, you have the last question. Chris.
Then on court after your singles win, you talked a little bit about your serve, maybe having some struggles, and then thanking Big John Isner for helping you get out of it. I just was curious, what's the difference between Ben Shelton and a little bit of a service slump and Ben Shelton having a perfect serving day like you did? What is it, mechanical? Is it location?
Yeah, I think it's a little more mental. I mean, obviously the mental affects the physical, but for me, it's getting into a state where I feel fluid in my service games, like just the rhythm of how I'm walking up to the line. It's kind of hard to describe, but I'm kind of in this flow state when I'm serving well, and I'm not even thinking. And then I realize at the end of the game, like, wow, I put that together well. Maybe not focusing so hard on how hard I'm hitting the serve or really trying to hit a perfect spot or even go for an ace. But the more, calm, relaxed, and kind of free I am in my service games, I serve a lot better. And I've been holding serve a lot lately. I knew that I had another gear that I could go to that I've seen in myself before, and I saw a little bit of that in myself today.
Okay. Andrew.
And speaking of that,
No. That's Andrew. Sorry. That
You, Andrew, too, huh?
Andrew Akinos from the ATP. What did Dad have to say about 147?
Dad's, you know this. Dad's always upset when I go for the bombs. He was saying to me after the match, he's like, "I know you looked at the clock. It looked right at it after." And then they had a little, I guess, statistic up on the screen of fastest serves of the tournament, and he was like, "I know you were looking up at that too to see that you were number one on the leaderboard." So he gave me a hard time about it.